To understand the silence left behind, you must first remember the laughter that lived here. James Ducat was 43, a methodical man with hands calloused by service and tenderness in equal measure. When he left his home, his wife Helen folded his coat carefully, smoothing the shoulders as though time itself might crease them. He once told a visitor, "The light is not mine to keep, it is mine to honor." A simple sentence, a lifetime's vow. Donald MacArthur was 40, broad-shouldered, restless, the kind of man who could haul rope and worry at the same time. His fellow keepers teased him for talking to the sea, but he spoke to it softly, like a child who expects a monster under the bed. And then there was Thomas Marshall, 28, a poet disguised in oilskins, a man who carried a notebook more often than complaints. His entries were gentle, aching, prophetic. If the waves could write, perhaps loneliness would finally see its own face. None of them were born for legend. They were born for hearths, meadows, children yet unborn, futures yet unbuilt. Before they handled lighthouse wicks, they handled hope. They shared meals, small luxuries, routines. Keeping the light was their profession. Keeping one another was their lifeline. Isolation on the Atlantic edge wasn't romantic. It was real, bone deep, sighing through stone at night like an unwanted guest. Ships depended on them, but their families needed them most. That winter began ordinary. It ended as a question written in storm foam. Passing weather logs spoke of a fury strong enough to make trees kneel, but no distress call came. No flare, no cry, no plea on the wind. Inside the lighthouse, the final journal lines held tension but not terror. Marshall wrote of pounding waves. Marshall wrote of prayer. Marshall wrote of MacArthur weeping, not dramatically, but quietly, like a man missing someone while they are still beside him. They were men of reason, fraying without cause. Storm outside, something else pressing inward. 2 oilskins were missing. 1 remained. A supply box near the cliff had been forced open for rope. Not random, a decision, a reason, a moment. A path led toward the lower landing. The rock stair handrail chains were bent inward, not outward. Not by wave, by hand, by grip, by someone who held on or was held. They must have gone to secure something, but what? The west landing was battered, crates crumpled like abandoned luggage, ropes torn loose, not sliced, pulled free, not severed. No footprints lasted. Storm winds erase quickly here, but grief does not. No bodies, no answers, only absence. On December 26, 1900, the Hesperus reached the island chain. Horn blasts rolled across basalt cliffs. No voice answered back. The landing crew climbed the steps, calling each name in turn. Ducat, wind, replied alone. Marshall, the ocean heaved, like laughter without humor. MacArthur, silence met them, heavy, inhabited. Inside, the scene was orderly but interrupted. A table set for a meal. No hands left to lift forks. Presence unfinished, not shattered. No violence marked the walls. No dramatic trace. Only undone moments. Some said rogue waves took them, but rogue waves take men, not purpose. Telegrams told families with cold formality. Helen read words too small to carry their weight. Hands once smoothing coat shoulders, now smoothed only air. Search teams found nothing. Even the sea doesn't return receipts. The enquiry closed without closure. No final word could silence the shape of the unknown. The island moorbeam still turns, steady, unfeeling, reliable. But reliability is no shield from tragedy. Sometimes it is the very stage for it. If loneliness was the storm beneath the storm, perhaps it towered higher than waves ever did. The Atlantic does not battle you. It merely waits. And waiting is its most convincing voice. 3 men never walked into myth. They walked into silence, still wearing their names. Maybe the sea took them. Maybe something met them first. But the heaviest darkness isn't the one that crashes, it's the one that stays quiet and speaks in whispers. Whispers last longer than storms ever will.